OMFG. I wonder how many people from my last video are gonna notice and comment. Why did I go to town? From the last video, what was the whole purpose of me going to town? What did I schedule my whole trip to town around? And then didn't go to the pharmacy. So here I am, headed back to town again. How frustrating. Wonder what my neighbor's doing. Today is her day off, apparently. I just saw her in what looked like street clothes versus her vet clothes. I just sent her a text message, some screenshots from one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. It's a, excuse me, an animal care group, but anybody can post a question and post pictures about their animals, but only vets and assistants are allowed to respond. So if you're not an approved person to respond, they'll actually delete your comment, and if you repeatedly do it, they'll ban you from the group. Which to some degree I get, because they don't want anybody giving like wrong medical advice, but at the same time I think, I mean, it would be nice to be able to, like, you know, send my condolences to people who, you know, wrote in and were concerned, and then they ended up having to put their animal down, or, you know, or it ended up passing away. You know, to be able to, you know, to send condolences to that person, or, you know, oh my God, I've seen this before, or, you know, hold on, let me see if my vet knows. You know, to be able to say stuff like that, I don't know that that's harmful in any way, but you're not allowed to do that in that group. And it's also against group rules to privately message anybody. So it's kind of frustrating. I did just see that my neighbor just messaged me back about the pictures that I sent, but of course I'm driving, so I can't really see what she said. But it was pictures of abscesses and lesions on an Australian Shepherd, and they've now been to 4 vets. They don't know what's causing it. All tests have come back negative. Scrapings failed to grow any bacteria. So yeah, she posted it in there to see if anybody, you know, if it rung any bells with anybody. But, you know, and I messaged her and said, I can't answer in the group, even if you know the answer or you have a suspicion of the answer, because I'm not a vet, but I'm just curious what your thoughts are on this, because it's pretty gnarly. I mean, really, really deep lesions on this dog, and it's all over the dog's body. So yeah, I was just curious from, you know, because she's a vet, what her thoughts are on it. So it'll be interesting when I get home to read that, or get to the pharmacy. So when I get there, I mean, now that I'm headed back into town, I only have an 1/8 of a tank. So when I get to the pharmacy, and pause you guys so that you don't hear all my, you know, my PHI, I'm going to look on my Upside app and see what gas station's got the better deal, since I'll be about smack dab between the two that I usually use and seem to have the best deals on Upside. So it kind of determines how I come home, depending on which gas station I can get the better deal at. And normally I'd be like, yeah, he can gas up, but because he does it to me all the time. He'll like come home and the truck will be on fumes, and I'll go to leave. He's like, you have to stop and get gas. Why didn't you stop and get gas when you had the truck? Now, there have been a few times where I've done that because I didn't even realize that, the light had come on, and, I'm already like within, a couple blocks from home, quarter mile from home or whatever, and I'm like, I'm not going to turn around and go all the way back into town to go get gas. I'll deal with it next time. And then, sometimes that next time happens to be when he's using the truck, and then he complains that there's no gas in it, and he had to stop for gas. And I'm like, dude, you do that to me every time. Every time. So, don't complain, because I don't do it all the time. It's rarely that it happens on my end. But whatever. But with an eighth of a tank, if I was positive that I wasn't going to have to come back in and go buy vegetables for my dragons, I wouldn't even worry about it. I'd be like, there's an eighth of a tank in there. You can stop and get gas on your way out of town. Ouch. I just bit my lip. But now I definitely won't have to come back into town on Friday, because since I'm coming back into town now, dang it, I will go across the street to the Safeway or Albertsons or whatever it is across the street from the pharmacy, and I'll just go get my dragon food. It's going to be more expensive than if I went to Winco, but it's right there rather than driving all the way across Richland just to go to Winco. So, cost benefit. Do I spend the gas to get across town at $4 something a gallon? Am I saving money by driving across town just to get the greens? Probably not. So, if I was doing a full grocery shopping trip, I would probably spend the gas to get across town. But to get some greens for the dragons, I don't think it would be cost effective to be like, yeah. I feel really stupid. I can't believe I drove all the way in town, planned my entire day, literally my entire day, around picking up my prescriptions. And it was the one thing I didn't do. Laugh. All I can do is laugh. I mean, it's better to laugh at myself, because I'm sure other people are gonna laugh. I know I would be. Not laughing at somebody because, oh my god, they're so stupid, but laughing because I'm like, oh my god, that is so something I would do. And obviously it is something I would do because I just did it. Is getting very wheezy. I have to hit my inhaler when I get back home. Whee! Through a one roundabout. I wasn't driving there or nothing, people. Beep! My alert just kicked on my truck saying, hey, you need to get gas. So I don't know if you heard that just that one little beep. That's all the warning I get. And then a little warning light clicks up on my, by my gas gauge. And then nothing else until, okay, I'm out of gas. So, it's really easy for me to not hear that, especially if I've got the radio on. It's such a quiet little beep. I mean, it would make more sense to me that, your warning light be, I don't know, with the gas or with the mileage on the speedometer rather than on the gas gauge, because, You look at your speedometer way more often than you look at your gas gauge, typically. It's a cute little car. We were watching something the other night. Some scary, well, quote unquote scary movie, but you know, from the 70s. How scary is that? And I'm like, oh, is she like me? Because she was like watching road signs trying to find a gas station, and I'm like, oh, she's got an eighth of a tank. She's not like me. She was like me, she'd already be on fumes and then be looking for the gas station. She eventually did get gas. I was like, wait, I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. She never ran out of gas. But she didn't. She did run out of gas. Had to push her car off onto the side of the road. And then she broke into a closed gas station and stole gas. Because then, you know, she kept finding gas stations that were closed. And then it's like, oh, next gas in 23 miles. And she's like, white knuckling her gas tank, you know, and then she'd get to that one and, oh, close, next gas station in. So she ended up like it was like the third or fourth gas station. She was like, screw this. She just busted inside and grabbed the key, and you know, my husband was like, let's see if she realizes that she has to hit the breaker box. And I'm like, what? I wouldn't know that. I mean, if I got desperate enough to like break into a gas station and grab the pump key, I certainly wouldn't think, oh, there's a breaker box somewhere that I've got to turn on too. But she did. It was Valerie Harper was the lead in it. It was we were watching Creature Features on YouTube Saturday night. Anybody from my age group, you know, 50s, late 40s, early 50s, maybe even late 60s, may know of Creature Features. Back when, you know, in our younger days, it was scary movie, you know, like the stupid sci-fi, like Creature from the Black Lagoon type movies. Godzilla, you know, and that kind of stuff. Well, now it's a little different. Like they show just like all kinds of different movies. That was perfect timing. I looked up just in time to see my phone turn off. It reached a 5% battery and turned everything off. So I'm plugged in now, back to recording. So yeah, Creature Features, like I said, it's no longer just the weird sci-fi type movies. They show all kinds of different types of movies, which I don't know. It hurts my memory a little bit because Creature Features is, you know, a childhood memory with my dad. But I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But they're on YouTube. Every Saturday night they have a movie, and then have a weird cast. Tangela, who doesn't speak. What's the butler's name? Oh my gosh, I should know their names. I watch them every week. Oh, my husband would know. And he hasn't even been watching them that long. But again, he's got a good memory. I got shit. But yeah, I've been watching them for probably a year on YouTube now. About a year. And I love that the Winchester Mystery House is one of their benefactors, sponsors. I don't remember exactly what they call them. Financiers. Which again, I mean, love the Winchester Mystery House. My kids have good memories of the tour that we took through there. Well, at least the older two. I'm not sure how much my youngest remembers. She'll comment below though, I'm sure. But born and raised in California, same with my husband. Neither one of us ever went to the Winchester Mystery House when we lived there. Wasn't until we moved to Washington and then took a 2-week driving vacation and ended up back in California that we decided to go. It's like, really? It's funny. Let's see if I can zoom in on this bumper sticker. Oh, it's blurry. It says, there's like hella kids in here. I love it. That's funny. Can't be that many. That rig's not that big. But it's funny. Memory is shot today. What was I going to do when I turned my phone off? I was going to look something up. Oh, upside. I was going to find a gas station. Yay, I'm out of the sun. Yeah, Chevy Tahoes are not that big, so I don't know how she can have hella kids in there. I'm going to go ahead and pause now while I'm waiting and just figure out where I'm going to go for gas. Stay tuned. Well, I am too far away from my normal gas station for it to pull up on the upside, which kind of sucks. But all the gas stations of the similar brand everywhere else are roughly the same discount. So going to assume, which hopefully doesn't make an ass out of me, but I'm going to assume that their discount's going to be the same as everywhere else. But I'm going to shoot across to Safeway, go get some dragon food. And then gas, and then home again. Just in time to figure out what the hell I'm gonna make for dinner. I don't have anything out. Been eating a lot of beef lately just because, all we've had is beef and pork, and I'm not a super major pork fan. Stuff like pizza, sandwiches. Oh shoot, just realized that I forgot to buy lunch meat for myself. I guess while I'm in here in Safeway, pick myself up some lunch meat. My brain is just not working at all today. I have mid-thought forgotten what I was saying yet again. See, if I had my disability placard, I could park right there. I don't have my placard yet. Of course, I'm not gonna get it if I don't get my butt in gear and apply for it. But I have to call, because I'm pretty sure that it's going to have to be my surgeon that does the paperwork rather than my primary care, since it's the herniated discs and stuff that qualified me for disability in the first place, which was not diagnosed by my primary care provider. But I need to call them anyway and change things up, because I'm tired of fighting with my insurance company over my neck. But I don't know, just having a hard time being motivated to do much of anything these days. But I guess I better take my debit card off the envelope that came from the pharmacy. Otherwise I'm going to get inside and realize I don't have any way to pay for anything, because yeah, it's cute. They've never done that before. And each of my prescriptions is in a different bag. I'm like, how annoying. I mean, I got lots of bags for junk journaling, but annoying nonetheless. All right, so I will be back, and we'll see you in a bit. And we're back. My legs are not happy. Really starting to have, they're getting weak. I was noticing as I was walking through the store that I was dragging my right foot. And by the time I was done and walking out to my truck, I was kind of dragging both feet. So I'm kind of just shuffling along at this point. My legs are like, okay, I'm done, lady. You're not supposed to be walking this much. You're not supposed to be driving this much. I'm done. Anybody else gonna ignore the fact that I have reverse lights on? No, just entitled people. It's been a long time since I read the rules of the road book, so I don't know what the rules are there, I'll be honest. I know for me, if I see somebody trying to back out of a spot, I sit and wait, even if that's not the spot I want, simply because I know how hard it is to see out of these freaking parking spots. So you had to inch, and then people, inch and stop, because people just keep on driving even though you're backing out. Well, it's like, I don't know if it's a rule or if I just find it rude, but somebody's trying to back out of a spot, in my personal opinion, you should wait and let them go instead of like driving right behind them. Especially if your intention is to stop and wait for a different spot, and now you've like stopped behind somebody that's trying to get out of a spot, and you're just, and now you've got them blocked in. I hear you. See? Beep. It's like, get gas. You need gas. You need gas. I guess my truck beeps more than once. Maybe, I guess I never realized that before, because I usually have the radio on. But they can't play music and record at the same time. At least not if I plan to upload it to YouTube, otherwise I get copyright. So I do have a couple of videos on my channel that, there's a copyright issue with it, but I would have to completely take the video down. There's no way to edit, or you'd be watching like an entire hour video in silence, because I'm at a rodeo. I can't control them playing music. So it is what it is. I mean, yeah. I guess in 95 subscribers, if it affects my monetization, process, then I'll pull them down. But I don't know how some of these content creators get away with that, because they nail me every single time. I mean, I was at a rodeo a couple weeks ago, and literally it was like one song verse, bam. The Walla Walla rodeo I kind of get, because it literally was like back to back to back to back to back to back to back music. But yeah, and the Star Spangled Banner, and I will not edit out the Star Spangled Banner. I don't care what YouTube says. I'll take the copyright claim, but I won't edit out the Star Spangled Banner. Weird at our fair, sitting up at the rodeo, and I was recording during the Star Spangled Banner, but I don't know how well you can hear it, but the guy that was standing right behind me was singing along. I have never had that song impact me the way it did that night. And by the time the song was over, I was in tears. And I don't know what it was about the moment that hit me so hard. But when it was all said and done, I turned around and I thanked him. We talked a little bit, and as it turns out, he was a vet. Which, makes it that much more impactful. And maybe that's, why it hit me the way it did, was some intrinsic knowledge or thought that may have been the case, and that's why he was singing the song. I don't know. But yeah, I was in tears by the time the song was over, and it shocked me, because I'd never experienced that before. Let's go here. I'm gonna have to pause ya, because I gotta pull up my app. So I'll be back after I fuel up. Can't use Bixby. Good. Don't want to use Bixby. Wish I could turn that button off. I hate that every time I try to put my phone up, it turns Bixby on. Apparently I turned Bixby and the camera on simultaneously this time, so, I'm already recording. So, 2 trips to a grocery store, 1 trip to a pharmacy, 1 trip to the gas station, and almost $400. I'm headed home for the second time. $4.88 for gas. I have never, since we've owned this truck, I have never had a pump tap out. Like they have a max amount that you can put on a card. I've never experienced that in this truck. Experienced it today. It automatically kicked off at $100. Now, it says I'm full, so I probably couldn't have put too much more in on my own, but it automatically stopped itself at 100. It's crazy. Now, using the Upside app, I will get 17 cents a gallon back. So it essentially once I get the refund, I'll have paid $4.70 a gallon, which still sucks balls. I hate our gas prices. It's another big benefit to me not driving all the time and stacking my errands and only making one trip to town versus two like today. But I think I have $22 on the Upside app right now, and that's 3 trips, 3 different gas fill-ups, 3 or 4. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't downloaded the Upside app, let me know. I'll give you a code, and you can check it out. And if you use my code, then you and I both get a bonus. Like I think you get an extra 5 cents a gallon off your first fill up, and then I get an extra 5 cents off my next fill up, or something like that. But yeah, let me know, and I'll send you the code. So far, I'm loving the app. I mean, I haven't tried pulling the money off yet because I haven't, attached an account to credit it to. But that's purely just, my laziness. But it's an easy process. When you just pull up in the app, it'll automatically check for claims, places that have gas within, I think it's like 5 miles. And then you just kind of scroll through, and you can either go to the nearest one, or you can scroll down and find the one that's got the biggest rebate, the biggest discount, and drive a little bit. Just kind of depends. You pay full price at the pump, and then you claim the offer. When you decide what gas station you want to go to, you claim the offer, as I do air quotes that you can't see. You have 4 hours to get to the designated gas station, and then after you've paid, you click on I've paid, or you can scan a receipt, but it still has to be a qualifying. You can't just go to any gas station and then scan a receipt in. It has to be one of the ones that is part of the program. But yeah, I've paid, and then it starts processing, and 2 to 3 days later, I'll get a notification that they've credited my account. So I figured I'm gonna leave the money on there until I have enough for a full tank of gas, which this price is gonna take me a long time to get there. Hopefully gas prices come down soon, but I don't see it happening. I really don't. It's kind of one of the things that my husband likes to complain about, and complain loudly. And I'm like, what's the point in complaining? You can't change it. You can't not use it. It's like the price of toilet paper. What difference what's the point in complaining about the price of toilet paper? Your only other option is to not buy it. And is that an option for you? If not, then don't complain, because it's not an option. Same with gas. We can complain about the price of cheese all we want, because it's our choice to buy it, right? It's kind of not a choice whether or not you put gas in your vehicle, especially not when you live out in the boonies. So quit your bitching, put the gas in the truck, and move about your day. I don't know. I have found that in the last year and a half, I've really kind of gotten into a different headspace than him. Like I've learned to let go of a lot of stuff that would stress me out, and I'm like, I've really kind of focused on locus of control. If I can't control it, then why am I worrying about it? Why am I stressing about it? Because I can't do anything. I can't change it. I can't make it stop. I can't alter the outcome. So freaking out about it, all that's doing is affecting me and affecting my health. So what's the point? And he's not there, and I don't know that he ever will be there. He gets pissed off about everything that doesn't, any perceived slight. Somebody is driving too slow. Somebody's driving too fast. Somebody doesn't use their blinker. Somebody blinkers too soon. Gas prices are too high. Cost of this is too high. Everything is something for him to be aggravated about. So, I don't know. I don't think he's going to make a change in that until it reaches a point where it's affecting his health. Which, he's on blood pressure medication. At least in the moment, it probably does affect his health, because I guarantee you his blood pressure goes through the roof every time he drives. Every time he drives. Because I know my blood pressure goes through the roof every time he drives. So, I know his does. But, until a doctor says, dude, you got to do something about this, I don't see him making any changes, in attitude or behavior or anything else. Which from a therapeutic standpoint, I get. We were taught that in school. Nothing changes unless something changes. And without a motivation to change, no human being is going to. Why would they? What they're doing is working for them. So if they don't have a reason to change, they're not going to. And that's across the board. All human beings are that way. Because that's our id. That's our little id in there. Our little me. I'm the center of the universe. Internal child that says, I get everything I want, and that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way I'm going to make it be, whether you like it or not. Yeah. You're not going to make me do anything different. You can't make me. No. Eventually, the ego and the super ego comes in and says, guess what? We can make you. But until then, the id kind of rules those things. So, all right, I am home yet again. I'll leave my shoes off this time. Once I get things kind of settled in the house, I'll put my phone up on a tripod and you guys can watch me prepare my dragon food and get it packed away. So, thanks for riding with me a second time. Curious to see how many people realized from the first video that I never went to the pharmacy. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share away. You got anybody that you think would like the content that I do on my channel, please make sure you share. I hit 400 subs, and I'm already up another 5 since then, so 95 and counting. And then I can start processing, put my stuff on a loop and get those 3,000 hours and start the monetization process. So stay tuned and keep watching. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.